Good to have you on the set. Thank you for coming in.
So, by the way, we love to see that you actually put out a $3,000 reward for the shooter's capture. He's been captured. He was a guy that was protesting, but he claimed that he wasn't shooting at police officers. I'm not exactly sure.
Doesn't matter
who he was shooting at from a hill, right?
Doesn't matter if he was shooting at a squirrel. Yeah. He needs to go to jail. The thing is, the protesters despise this guy who damaged what they consider to be a movement. And so I think we don't know. I have all the information. I haven't spoken with the chief since Friday. But I think that this is what people of goodwill wanted this guy captured and put on trial.
And they were helping.
Yes.
The protesters, peaceful protesters, were helping in the investigation?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the Justice Department report and talking about policing used to actually shake down people to make revenue for the city. It's bad in Ferguson, but I've seen statewide statistics that show it's even worse throughout the entire state of Missouri. What are you doing to make sure that whether it's in Missouri or across the country, this sort of shakedown operation by police stops?
Well, we've introduced a bill, and we're trying to make sure we get bipartisan support for it, and I don't think there's any reason we won't. Rand Paul has already reached out expressing interest in introducing it in the Senate. It's a bill that would prevent municipalities from generating more than 35% of their budget from traffic tickets, because that amounts to taxation by citation.
Right.
And I mean, there are probably lawyers around the table other than you, but I think it's even unconstitutional. And you know, I grew up in Texas. When I was a kid, when my father would drive the family through a place called Saginaw, I mean, my mother would say, "All right, you know, we're in Saginaw. You better slow down." I mean, these towns exist all around the country where revenue was generated.
Notorious.
Yes.
I can tell you in Alabama, every time I was driving up to university, I knew when I went through Grove Hill, slow it down to 15 miles an hour. Because, but you also, even in Connecticut, I was driving through Connecticut, Sam, your home state. I'm driving on the Merritt, and the guy stops me for no reason, pulls me over, and then at the end, he recognized me and he goes, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry. It was just the end of the month, and I had to make my quota."
It's crazy.
Is that not unbelievable?
But it's, I mean, the point you made about him recognizing you is the valuable point, which is in this report, you know, it was if you were connected with the police force, if you were a relative of the police force, if you're a friend of the police force, they would throw your ticket away. They'd say, "No, don't worry about it," even if they needed revenue in that moment. And, you know, in some respects, that's almost even more deplorable. Well, not more, but it's equally deplorable to them using these poor people to just essentially generate revenue.
And it is.